Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 241, Here Comes Whitebeard. Unknown to Marines. Approximately 6,000 feet above the Marineford, three people watched the arrival of Whitebeard pirates standing atop the clouds. They were none other than Madara, Jax, and Akira. Madara-san, it's starting. Whitebeard has come. Jax spoke, observing the situation with a spyglass. Shall we make our move? No. It's too early. And I want to see whether the Whitebeard is as strong as his fame. Madara answered. At the same time, a little cloud carrying three people, Blaze, Kuina, and Regis, dashed towards Marineford. Utilizing the travel time, Blaze checked the system panel. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 100, Half-God. Devil Fruit, 79.9. Hockey, 100.0. Free Attribute Point, 8.111.1. The system rewarded him points for defeating the Pirates, Blackbeard Group, 1.0 points, Redfield, 0.5 points, Bullet, 0.5 points, and other miscellaneous pirates, 1.0 points. In total, his free attribute points rose by 3.0 points. It's a big leap. In no time, his group arrived at Marineford. Instead of showing himself, Blaze went to Madara's location and landed on the clouds made by Jax. Looks like I came on time. Blaze spoke. Looking at the situation below, he commented, I can feel Whitebeard has consumed the golden blood that I gave him. I'm excited to see him fight the admirals. Marineford. On the leading ship, Moby Dick, 14 captains of the Whitebeard pirates people stood in a row. Marco, Jaws, Vista, and other captains with hefty bounties. Their indifferent eyes scanned the Marines gathered while their countenances showed no emotion. But, the Marine soldiers below could feel the intimidating aura radiating from them. Facing the Whitebeard group, the Marines sweated with audible gulps. After all, they are facing the Yonko group. Sengoku, Garp, Tsuru and three admirals stared at Moby Dick. After a second, everyone heard the sound. Tap. 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 He's coming. The Marines held their breath while silence enveloped the area. Among the nervous expressions of the elite Marine soldiers, Whitebeard walked along the stairs and emerged from inside the ship. They finally glimpsed at him. Yonko Whitebeard, holding the Naginata in his hand, walked over and stood on the deck of Moby Dick. His majestic figure sent fear into the hearts of countless Marines. Gorarara! Whitebeard slammed the Naginata to the ground. It's been a while, Sengoku. Whitebeard. Sengoku reacted. Whitebeard looked at Ace in the execution platform and commented, Give me a second, Ace. Oyaji. Ace looked at Whitebeard while tears flowed from his eyes. Is he really the old Whitebeard? Why do I find him so scary? A Marine soldier sighed. It's not just you, something's wrong. Not just him, everyone looked at Whitebeard in shock. Unlike his aged self, Whitebeard exuded vibrant vitality while his body brimmed with overwhelming strength. Garp looked at Whitebeard in stupefaction. His aura is stronger than his prime. What did he do? Just a look, Tsuru shook her head. She knew the Marines had miscalculated. I hope Sengoku has some backup plans, otherwise we are done for. Akane clenched his fist, feeling Whitebeard's overbearing haki. Every one of them. Why can't he just go and die? His era is over. Arara. Kuzan sighed. Only Kizaru stayed relaxed as if he was just a spectator. Whitebeard. Sengoku's face darkened while cold sweat covered his forehead. How did he revitalize his body to his peak? Looking at Ace's tearful face, Whitebeard comforted gently. "Don't worry, Ace. With me here, no one can harm you." Whitebeard grinned while his eyes turned fierce. Clutching his fists, he punched the air on both sides. Crack! A cracking sound ensued before the air shattered into countless fragments. A terrible shock force swept across the surrounding waters, the sea surged wildly and regressed. Within a few seconds, they came back as a mega tsunami. The massive waves blocked the very sun and shadowed Marineford. Looking at the mega tsunami, the Marines gulped with fear on their faces. Against this kind of disaster-level power, they can do nothing but watch. Whitebeard's single blow crushed the Marines' fighting spirit. Seeing this scene, Akiji got up from his seat. If no one takes action and stops this blow, Marines will suffer heavy casualties. Leaping into the sky, he stretched his arms. Ice Spear extended from his fingers and touched the monstrous waves. Ice Age! Akiji's called. In an instant, Kuzan's ice power completely froze the billowing waves along with the entire sea. Admiral Akiji stopped Whitebeard's attack. "Yes, we have admirals on our side. We don't have to fear anything." The Marines woke up from their fear and showed fighting spirit. "That's right. Akiji, you little brat." Whitebeard grinned. Kuzan radiated cold air as he attacked Whitebeard, Ice Spear. Hundreds of ice spears materialized before him before he launched them at Whitebeard. Unlike in the original work, Akiji attacked with full force. He could tell Whitebeard before him is not the aged man with weak haki, his strength is at his prime. So, he didn't hold back his strength. Facing Akiji's ice spears, Whitebeard smashed the air with overwhelming strength and haki. The air cracked. The power of shock crushed Akiji's spear and struck the latter. Ararara! Though Akiji elementalized his body in time, the shockwaves carrying haki smashed him away. His body crashed into a far, far away building, destroying everything in the way while clouds and dust rose covering everything. From the rising dust, Akiji's figure appeared dusting himself. Such power, it's no doubt his strength is at his peak. When everyone noticed the drop of blood trickling from the corner of Akiji's lips, they couldn't believe their eyes. Everyone present was shocked by the scene. Who is Akiji? One of the Marine headquarters admiral with shocking strength. Aside from Yonkos, they rank in the top. Such a strong man was injured by Whitebeard's single blow. Everyone wondered, can they really defeat this monster named Whitebeard? At that moment, Blaze's figure appeared in the minds of Marines. Vice Admiral Blaze, the current strongest man in the world. If he was here, they don't have to be helpless. A question crossed their mind, where's Vice Admiral Blaze? Why isn't he participating in the war? At that moment Sengoku's voice resounded across the Marineford. Don't be afraid, everyone. Whitebeard is old and sick, he must have used external means to improve his strength. It's definitely temporary. Yes. Fire. Destroy the Moby Dick. The Marines responded. Go, my sons. Rescue Ace. Tonight, we will celebrate our victory. Whitebeard commanded. Chapter 242, War. Whitebeard Pirates vs. Marine Headquarters. With the bay now frozen, Whitebeard's ships are unable to move while the Marines begin to bombard them with cannon fire. The Whitebeard pirates charged forward over the ice surface without minding the cannon fires. The pirates and Marines battled above the ice surface. In no time, the fight was chaotic. The Vice Admiral stepped forward to stop the commanders of Whitebeard pirates, but the strength of Marco, Jaws, and Vista is clearly superior to them. Seeing the situation, top-level Vice Admirals came forward and clashed with the division commanders by joining forces. At that moment, Mihawk stepped forward, startling many people. Hawkeye Mihawk is making the move? What? Do you want to make a move? Doflamingo snorted. I just want to figure out the true distance between us and the man who once hailed as the strongest man in the world, Mihawk commented while his sharp eyes fixed on Whitebeard. Drawing his supreme grade sword, Yoru, he swung it with his full strength. A green sword light swept towards Whitebeard, cleaving the ice surface on its way. "My hawk brat, you are still too early to challenge me. Go and play with Shanks for a few more years before coming at me." "Gorarara." Whitebeard laughed and slashed his Naginata, wrapping it with Quake Bubble. Boom! Upon collision, Mihawk's sword light burst into countless particles, unable to bear Whitebeard's power. The world's strongest swordsman's slash was broken by Whitebeard in a simple manner. How can it be? Am I seeing things? Hawkeye's slash was resolved just like that? They wondered whether Mihawk used his full strength. It's true, Mihawk didn't use his full strength, it's just a pure swordsman's slash without any haki or technique. Whirling the weapon over his head, Whitebeard slashed vertically, wrapping his Naginata with a Quake Bubble. The air cracked, firing a slash that ripped the space itself. Whitebeard's slash wasn't as exquisite as Hawkeye, but it carried oppressive strength along with shock fruit power. Facing Whitebeard's attack, Hawkeye's eyes narrowed as he swiftly used his sword to parry the slash. Clang! The collision triggered a minor shockwave and pushed the other warlords away from Mihawk's side. The strong impact and vibration made Hawkeye's arm tremble, and he was forced to take a few steps back to offset the power. A look of astonishment flashed in Hawkeye's eyes. Such strength, no wonder he was called the strongest man. Hawkeye was pushed back? He's this strong even in his old age. The Marine's face changed, seeing the clash between the strong. Whitebeard is too strong. It's completely different from the old and sick man they assumed. The still atmosphere was broken by boisterous laughter. Puff, wahahaha. Garp laughed, pointing his finger and hugging his stomach. Whitebeard is really strong. First, he hit Akiji, and now, Mihawk. Garp, you shut up. Sengoku shouted from the execution platform, his eyes glared at Garp. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Garp apologized insincerely. Damn. Sengoku's having a headache. Something's wrong with Whitebeard's strength, I thought it's just temporary. It's unwise to delay anymore. Considering Whitebeard's strength is at his peak, only he and Garp can stop him. But, looking at Garp standing below, Sengoku shook his head. Ace is Garp's grandson. He knew his friend well, and even if he took action because of his duty, he would never give his all. Blaze's figure flashed in his mind, but the world government strictly told him to keep him out of the war. With Blaze, I don't have to worry about Whitebeard. Pity. He can only utilize the admirals. He trusts their strength, but against the peak Whitebeard, the three admirals need to attack together to defeat him. Whitebeard, standing atop Moby Dick, felt Sengoku's gaze. He looked at the latter before flashing a grin. Not good. Seeing Whitebeard's grin, his senses gave him a warning. Sengoku, I hope you prepared well before declaring war against me. Saying this, Whitebeard leaped high in the air and landed firmly on the ice surface. As he landed, Whitebeard's eyes flared purple-red. Ripples moved in all directions with sparks of royal purple lightning. The ice surface showed signs of crack while a shockwave blew everyone far away from him. A precise burst of Conqueror's haki knocked out the weak-willed Marines. Foam came out of most Marines' mouths as they all hit the ground with audible thuds, their eyes blank and mouths wide open. Aside from strong-willed Marines, everyone below the Rear Admiral level was taken out by Whitebeard's wide-range haki burst. Damn, how Haki, a Rear Admiral uttered, using every ounce of his willpower to stand on his feet. Almost 70% of the Marines' force was knocked unconscious. Whitebeard. Sengoku clenched his fist and ordered the soldiers to rise the iron wall in advance. He needs to stop Whitebeard from rampaging. Dozens of walls shot up from the ground, encircling the Whitebeard pirates and blocking their exit and path toward the execution platform. Their path. As the pirates tried to attack it, the wall didn't budge while cannons emerged from the walls, preparing to fire. Seeing all this, Whitebeard snorted. Petty tricks. Whitebeard grabbed and pulled the air as if it were tangible. As he did that, the entire island shifted to his wish. The Bay Area went up while the iron wall was pulled down. With a little twist in the air, the two sides collided and merged as one while the iron walls disappeared underneath the ground. Gorarara, Sengoku, if this is all you prepared. Whitebeard cocked his arm back and banged the air in front of him. You are underestimating me. The air cracked, followed by a thunderous sound boom. A terrifying shock swept through Marienford like a ferocious beast, destroying everything in its path. Its target is the execution platform where Ace is kept. Huge cracks spread like spider webs, unable to withstand Whitebeard's frenzy. The very Marineford quivered. Not good. Sengoku sweated. The war's going in the worst possible direction. If they do nothing, they are done for, as he knew how scary peak Whitebeard is. Sakazuki, Kuzan, Borsellino. Sengoku called. Like in the original series, the three admirals came forward and stopped the shockwave with Haki emission using their full strength. Chapter 243, Whitebeard vs. Three Admirals. Under Sengoku's order, the person in charge cut off the live projection of war. It was at that moment that Luffy, Jinbe, and others who escaped from Impel Down made their entry. Garp and Ace stared at Luffy with wide eyes. Luffy! On the other hand, the three admirals confronted Whitebeard at the same time. Even if it's peak Whitebeard, facing three admirals, he had to be wary. A flashing golden light blinded everyone's sight as it materialized above Whitebeard. As the light dimmed, Kizaru's figure came into view. Crossing his arms in front of him, Kizaru fired a torrent of deadly light particles that shot toward Whitebeard without any mercy. Great eruption! Sakazuki sprinted forward while his fist turned into pure magma before rocketing towards Whitebeard, melting whatever lay in its path. Ice Block, Pheasant Beak Akiji unleashed a massive wave of ice that took the shape of a pheasant before speeding towards Whitebeard. It's Admiral Akiji, Kizaru, and Akainu. They are finally taking action. Yes. With them intercepting, Whitebeard can't rampage as he wishes. We just have to take care of the Whitebeard pirates. The Marines who were reserved for emergencies like now came out to confront the Whitebeard pirates. They cheered seeing the admirals confronting Whitebeard. Seeing the three admirals attacking from all sides, the division commanders showed worried looks. Oh Yaji! But, facing the attacks, Whitebeard grinned while the fighting spirit burned in his eyes. Feeling the strength in his arms and overpowering Haki, Whitebeard hoisted his weapon. His Naginata emitted streams of black lightning-like energy while Whitebeard further fueled it with a quake bubble. With a strong power in his feet and arms, he waved his Naginata and spun around. The slash made a circle covering 360 degrees. Boom! Followed by a thunderous sound, a terrible shockwave blasted in all directions like a violent superstorm, crushing everything in its path. The attacks of the three admirals couldn't withstand Whitebeard's shock power and Haki. They were shattered into nothingness. What's even more incredible is that they were forced to use their Haki to block Whitebeard's shockwave and took a few steps back to stabilize their body. Pin drop silence. That old man is strong. Is he the one Ace respects? Luffy took a stop before further speeding towards the execution platform. Gorarara. Enjoying the feeling brought by strength and the temporary disappearance of old injuries, Whitebeard laughed loudly. His laughter intimidated the Marines further. The three admirals landed in different positions, surrounding Whitebeard in a triangular formation. They looked at him in a solemn manner. Though they didn't use their entire strength in the attack, it wasn't one to be underestimated. But Whitebeard made it look easy. From Whitebeard, they sensed overflowing Haki and fearlessness as if he didn't take them seriously. If you brats want to stop me, practice a few more years. Garp and Sengoku had to join hands to stop me. Or that brat Blaze, but it seems like he's not here. Whitebeard smiled. Scary and Whitebeard with his peak strength. He can easily repel our combined attack. It's terrifying. Kizaru exaggerated while he suddenly disappeared with a golden flash. Have you been kicked at the speed of light? Kizaru appeared before Whitebeard, stating his iconic phrase. His right foot sparkling golden aimed at Whitebeard's head. Against Kizaru's attack, Whitebeard defended calmly with his Haki-coated left arm. Bang! Upon collision, a shockwave burst with them as a center. With a slight force, Whitebeard pushed Kizaru's foot away and slammed his elbow hard. It cracked the air similar to his quake punch. Boom! At such close range, Kizaru, who didn't expect such an attack from Whitebeard, blasted away by the power of vibration. His figure crashed into the far building, stirring the dust and debris as if he was hit hard. Kizaru's actions, for a moment, made Whitebeard wonder whether he infused Hoshiku in his attack. It's just a normal punch with little vibration. But he didn't have the luxury to ponder as a huge magma came at him. With a sidestep, he evaded the magma shaped like a fanged dog head and looked at Akainu. Magma brat, you should use your skills to roast dog meats. Whitebeard. Akainu roared in anger. Looking at Whitebeard coldly, he spoke, it's time for old things like you to die. Today's your funeral, nothing can change that. Whitebeard grinned, but a trace of anger burned in his heart. Who wouldn't be when uttered such cold words to the face? For no reason, he didn't like Akainu, so he decided to teach this magma brat a lesson. At that moment, Akiji cautioned from the side. Be careful, Sakazuki. It's no doubt, his strength is greater than his peak period. But, who was Sakazuki? He didn't bother to listen to Kuzan's suggestion and attacked Whitebeard head-on as if the latter were his lifelong enemy. His arms turned magma, and pointing them at Whitebeard he fired a barrage of magma fists. Volcanic eruption. Facing the attack, Whitebeard evaded them at ease, employing his observation haki that could predict a few seconds into the future. Both advanced while one attacked and the other evaded. In no time, there was only a 1-meter gap between them. At such a close distance, Sakazuki launched his signature attack. Great Eruption, shooting a huge boiling magma fist that exuded high temperature. Facing the attack, Whitebeard lifted his arm and smashed the air. Cracks. Boom. The power of vibration and magma collided fiercely in mid-air, casting out streams of purple lightning. With them as a center, stormy energy raged before exploding into a terrifying shockwave. It was just for a moment, both sides seemed equal before the force of vibration smashed the huge magma fist and overpowered Sakazuki. Unable to withstand the intensity of the blow, Sakazuki was pushed back. Before Sakazuki could recover and stabilize himself, a huge shadow stood before him. Glimpsing Whitebeard so close with his fist wrapped in quake bubble, cold sweat broke out of his forehead. Whitebeard. Whitebeard didn't hesitate in the slightest against the Marines' greatest military power. He punched Akainu's head, giving his all. Boom! With a booming sound, Sakazuki's body hit the ground while his face deformed severely. Though he elementalized at the last moment, it didn't help him much. The air cracked into countless fragments. The power of shock traveled past Sakazuki's head and struck the ground, forming a huge ravine in the middle of Marineford. Ah! Sakazuki roared, struggling his best, but it was all for naught. Blood gushed from his ears, nose, and mouth as the power of vibration injured his internals. Ice ball. Kuzan unleashed ice energy as he approached Whitebeard, trying to freeze him. Overbearing haki burst from Whitebeard's body, blocking Kuzan's attack from freezing his body. Get away, young brat! Roaring, Whitebeard kicked at the approaching Kuzan. The air cracked. The shock power knocked Kuzan far away, preventing him from helping Sakazuki. Chapter 244, Madara joining the war. Zop! Several laser beams stormed Whitebeard, forcing him to take his hand off Akainu and smash a punch to his left. At the same time, he kicked Akainu with his right foot coated with haki. The air cracked to Whitebeard's left while Akainu's body was catapulted to the back straight into a building near the execution platform, spreading dust everywhere. Boom! Kizaru's laser beams exploded upon colliding with Whitebeard's shockwave. Sakazuki. Sengoku's face changed, noticing the situation. If the three admirals get entangled with Whitebeard, it's hard to stop the Whitebeard pirates and fugitives from impel down from advancing. Gritting his teeth, Sengoku ordered via the Den Den Mushi. Tell the Science Division to execute the plan. The next moment, numerous pacifistas came out of nowhere and surrounded the Whitebeard pirates. Erg! Whitebeard! With a beastly roar, Akainu got up from the ground. His countenance was ferocious with blood streaming down his face. With all the blood and injured body, the majesty of the admiral had long disappeared. He had the look of an injured beast, but the look of shame covered it. "I'm going to kill you." Akina seethed in rage while his entire body turned into magma, exuding high temperature. He is a marine admiral with the highest combat power among the three, but he was injured like this. Whitebeard overpowered and kicked him like a ragdoll. The three admirals once again encircled Whitebeard. Even if it's Whitebeard, they have the confidence to restrain, exhaust, and kill him. Whitebeard's complexion turns solemn. He can fight the three of them, but his strength is temporary. The more he uses his abilities, the sooner he will lose the power given by Blaze. He had to be calculative and smart to rescue Ace without much sacrifice. Hooray! Destroy the Marines. They are nothing without the admirals. Rescue Ace. The confidence of the Whitebeard pirates skyrocketed, witnessing Whitebeard fighting the admirals without losing. Amidst the cheers and roars, they rushed towards the Marine. Above the clouds. Woohoo! The peak Whitebeard is crazy. He can fight the three admirals without losing the momentum. Jax watched the fight in excitement. Do you think the title of World's Strongest Man is a joke? Before Blaze-san got the title from him, he was undefeated. Akira gave her comment. Oh. It's rare to hear a comment from you, Akira. Jax spoke playfully. Madara, it's time for you to go. I can sense the energy within Whitebeard draining rapidly. He's overusing his power and haki to match the admirals. Blaze told Madara. Good. Today, I'm going to show them hell. Madara's aura flared as he jumped from the cloud. Don't harm the low-ranking Marines. Blaze spoke aloud. What do you think of me? I don't care about the ants. Madara's voice came from below the clouds. Blaze-san, let us go too. Jax asked in an excited voice. No. It's not time for you guys to show your faces. Marines are just a vanguard of the world government. Their true strength is very formidable. In the near future, we will clash with world government. You guys are my trump cards. I don't want your strength to be exposed early. Hearing Blaze's reply, Jax and Akira nodded their heads and glanced at Madara descending on Marineford. Before the admirals could bombard Whitebeard with their attacks, they sensed a domineering aura and looked toward the sky. Madara's figure descended from the sky and landed on Marineford with a bang, stirring the dust in clouds. Uchiha Madara. Everyone on the battlefield recognized this person, especially the Marines. They won't forget the tragic battle that happened here 2 years ago. Sengoku's face turned gloomy. Shit. Why did he appear here? Even though we kept tabs on his whereabouts, his movements were extremely secretive. He knew Madara's an unstable factor, but he didn't expect him to really come and participate in the summit war. Garp appeared next to Sengoku and spoke in a solemn tone. Sengoku, call that brat Blaze. If not, forget about losing, we will be crushed. Though Ace is his grandson and hopes Whitebeard rescues him, Garp knows how strong Uchiha Madara is. If he doesn't step forward, the Marines can't stop Madara and Whitebeard at the same time. I can't call him to fight Whitebeard, the 5 elders personally ordered it. Sengoku responded. Fuck them and their order. Garp raged. Garp. Sengoku called sternly. Whatever. I will go and stop Whitebeard, let the brats deal with Madara. Saying this, Garp unclad his marine coat. Garp, you don't have to do this. Snort I can't watch the young ones lose their brilliance just because of my personal feelings. Garp's figure leaped and landed before Whitebeard. Garp-san. Kuzan and Kizaru called, seeing Garp's arrival. You brats go and deal with him. I will take care of Whitebeard. Garp waved his hand in a manner of shooing away the admirals. Understanding the plight, the admirals set their sights on Madara. Garp. Whitebeard. Whitebeard and Garp clashed, setting off streams of purple lightning all over the battlefield, pushing the ordinary Marines away. On the other side, the admirals encircled Madara as Kizaru commented. Be careful, you two. His strength is in no way inferior to Whitebeard. Marines, are you ready for round 2? Madara declared arrogantly while his aura turned into a tangible purple form.
Madara, you have no reason to participate in this war.
Why don't you come another day? We can have a good fight. Kizaru spoke in a joking manner. Madara gave a cold stare while his eyes turned to Rinnegan.
Stretching his hands, he silently muttered, Bansho Tenin.
A strong attractive force shrouded Kizaru, Akiji, and Sakazuki before dragging them toward Madara. Facing such a weird attack, the admirals didn't panic, they attacked Madara in return.
The power of magma, ice, and light beams flooded Madara.
Shinra Tensei.
An explosive force appeared out of nowhere and pushed the admirals and everything in the path far away. Unable to evade the attack at such close range, the figures of admirals crashed into different parts of Marineford. This scene stunned the Marines and Whitebeard pirates alike while the entire Marineford turned quiet for a moment.
Even Garp and Whitebeard stopped their attacks. Chapter 245, Single Move Crushed the Marines.
Unlike the last time Madara visited Marineford, he showcased his entire strength including Rinnegan and Haki mastery.
With his Rinnegan power, he smoothly comprehended armament and observation Haki. Aside from that, he's also Conqueror's Haki user as Blaze expected.
For Madara to exhibit his full strength, Blaze shared natural energy and bestowed him with a few drops of golden blood.
With that, his strength is a step higher than Yonko's. Sending 3 brats who hadn't even awakened their king's will, are you underestimating me, Marines?
Madara stated, his arms crossed across his chest.
Bang! Garp's figure smashed into the execution platform, destroying it completely. Gorarara, Garp, your Haki got weak. Whitebeard laughed, appearing next to Madara.
Ace and the newly called executioners fell to the ground along with Sengoku, who landed firmly.
At the same time, Luffy got to the execution platform and freed Ace using the No. 3's key like in the original work. Noticing Ace rescued from his sea stone cuffs, Whitebeard roared, his voice piercing into every corner of Marineford. Whitebeard pirates, retreat. Ace's brother is super fierce. He rescued Ace. Yeah. Ace is rescued. Let's get out of here. Whitebeard pirates cheered and began to withdraw from the battlefield. Since Whitebeard himself gave the command, none of them dared to disobey it. Marco flew over and landed next to Whitebeard. Oyaji, what about you?
You guys retreat, I have some unfinished business. Since they dare to touch my family, the Marines should understand the consequence of their actions.
Whitebeard uttered. But Marco hesitated.
Understanding Marco's worry, Whitebeard waved his hand.
Don't worry. I understand my condition better.
I will fall back after teaching the Marines a lesson.
Understood. Marco flew away and helped the Whitebeard pirates to withdraw safely.
He knew they were nothing but a burden to Oyaji after this.
With them here, he can't go all out. Thanks for coming. Whitebeard spoke in a low voice, swallowing his pride. I didn't come here for you. I will be glad if you don't get in my way. The Marines are my prey.
Saying this, Madara clapped his hands.
Sage Art would release, true several thousand hands.
Huge chakra erupted from Madara while a titanic, many-handed wooden statue rose from the ground.
It was gigantic, overlooking the entire Marineford.
He further augmented the several thousand hands with his iconic blue Susanoo.
With natural energy provided by Blaze, Madara can indeed perform Senju Hashirama's unique wooden release. But Madara didn't just stop there, he further coated Susanoo with armament Haki that exuded terrifying momentum.
Looking at the enormous figure, the Marines felt palpitations.
What the fuck is that? Is that something that humans can create? What kind of devil fruit does this man consume? His strength should be even greater than Yonko's. Can admirals, Fleet Admiral, and Garpsan defeat it?
After Ace was rescued, the war lost its meaning. Now, what they have to do is defeat this man in Whitebeard.
Otherwise, the Marines will lose big. Gorarara, what a terrifying ability. Whitebeard laughed. His haki perceives threatening power from the wooden giant.
He's not sure he can defeat this man even with his peak strength.
Sengoku's in a pinch.
If the Marines fail to defend this man, they will be in big trouble. The three admirals appeared before Madara with just minor injuries and scratches on their bodies.
Along with Garp and Sengoku, they stood in a line facing Madara. On one side, Whitebeard and Madara.
On the other side, Kizaru, Akiji, Akainu, Garp and Sengoku.
At that moment, Whitebeard stepped back, indicating he wouldn't partake in the battle.
If possible, he wants to conserve his strength in case of need.
Sengoku, it seems like we old fellows still need to take action. These brats are no good.
Garp spoke, picking his nose and criticizing the admirals. Yes, at their age, Garp was fighting Roger while Sengoku fought Whitebeard. Similar to Whitebeard, Garp could feel the explosive strength concealed within the wooden giant shrouded in Susanoo and haki. Against this kind of thing, even two emperors joining forces won't be able to win.
Last time, we may have lost.
This time, I want to see how he fights the five of us working together.
Sengoku's body turned into a huge golden Buddha. Though the wooden giant looks huge, Sengoku is confident in his strength and believes in Garp. Sakazuki's body fumed in magma while ice surrounded Kuzan's body. As for Kizaru, his entire body turned extremely golden bright as if he was ready to deliver a lightspeed kick. All of them were extremely serious, exuding fierce momentum. Understanding the upcoming battle would be huge and terrible, the ordinary Marines were evacuated from Marineford, leaving rear admirals and vice admirals. Madara sat atop the head of the wooden statue and glanced at the ant-like existences from above.
His eyes showed disdain and arrogance.
"Are you guys ready to dance?" Madara said as he made a one-hand seal. The next moment, hundreds of fists rained down upon the three admirals, Sengoku and Garp.
Facing the attacks, Garp and Sengoku erupted with terrifying armament and conqueror's haki while the admirals displayed their destructive Logia abilities.
Boom! The clash is like the universe's Big Bang. It was extremely destructive, capable of annihilating everything. The very Marineford shook while a powerful shockwave swept away everything. In the center of the collision, the space itself showed signs of bending. Endless streams of haki flew in all directions.
Magma, laser beams, ice, and golden holy power forcibly resisted the wooden fists wrapped in Susanoo and haki. It seemed like the two sides were on par. But, the next wave of Madara's attack submerged the five strongest figures among the Marines.
Even if it's Garp and Sengoku, they couldn't fight against thousands of overpowering fists pounding them repeatedly.
After a minute of struggle, they were crushed. The entire Marineford was overwhelmed with endless cracks extending from the center to the surroundings. The dust on the battlefield submerged everything, making it hard for the onlookers to see clearly. The Marines and pirates watched the terrifying confrontation from afar, staying in their respective ships.
Luffy and Ace were shocked by the power displayed by the man. It was simply godlike.
Once the dust cleared, everyone was shocked by the scene. The three admirals, Garp and Sengoku, lay on the ground with blood all over the floor.
They were beaten black and blue, standing no chance. Now, who's gonna fight this man? Chapter 246, Blaze vs. Madara. Silence.
Looking at the miserable appearance of Marine's strongest fighters now on the ground, none of the onlookers could believe their eyes.
They thought the clash would be earth-shattering, destroying Marineford. But it was completely one-sided. A feat unrivaled.
Whitebeard's face was solemn, looking at Garp and Sengoku.
Without a doubt, he can't achieve the same feat even in his prime.
Looking at the blue sky, Garp sighed while blood leaked from the corner of his lips.
Sengoku, I can't move a muscle.
I had to agree to the bitter truth, I got old.
Sengoku started coughing violently before he gasped for air. Even if you aren't old, I don't think you can take him down.
You sure don't care about my face. On the other side, the three admirals were in an even worse state, covered in blood. I think only Blaze stands a chance against some as monstrous as him, Garp said.
Considering his personality, he's definitely here. You just have to call him. I know.
It's just I thought he would help considering our circumstances.
Wahahaha. I didn't expect you to be this greedy, Sengoku. You are unbelievable.
You stopped him from participating in the war so that he doesn't get any credit.
Now, you want him to help you without expecting anything in return. He's also human. Garp, it's not me. The 5 elders strictly issued the order. What do you expect me to do? Sengoku spat. For once, do what's right.
Sai Sengoku closed his eyes for a moment. Garp, I am retiring after this war.
Me too. Madara's attacks were so strong. Their defensive abilities couldn't hold much against him. Sengoku had not yet fully recovered from the onslaught but quickly picked himself up from the ground.
As Fleet Admiral of the Marines, he can't bring shame to his position.
Following him, Garp and the 3 admirals rose their feet. With his arms crossed, Madara looked at them with a smirk on his face. It seems like you guys can still dance. At that moment, Sengoku roared. Blaze, I know you are here. Are you going to watch us old people die? TSK. You can't blame me, Sengoku-san.
A voice reached over from the Marineford building at the center.
Blaze stood atop with his hands behind the back.
His marine cape, with the word justice printed on the back, fluttered in the wind, giving people a heroic bearing.
It's Vice Admiral Blaze. We are saved. Our strongest marine is back. With him here, we don't have to worry about anything. Looking at Blaze, Sengoku spoke. I know you are disappointed. My hands were tied. But, I am going to make it right. I plan on retiring after today.
I will nominate you as the next Fleet Admiral, but whether the world government accepts you or not is not in my hands. Sengoku knew in his heart, aside from this position there was nothing in Marines that could interest Blaze.
He always knew this but refused to accept it. Hearing the words, Blaze just smiled. But on the other hand, Akainu's face turned ugly. He always wants to be the next Fleet Admiral.
Only by doing that, he can achieve his absolute justice better. Clenching his blood fist, he looked at Blaze in aggressiveness.
On the other hand, Akiji and Kizaru didn't show much expression, as if they were okay with Blaze being Fleet Admiral. Long time, Whitebeard. Blaze greeted Whitebeard while the latter responded with a snort. You must be, Madara. Blaze then looked at Madara standing inside Susanoo and closing would release, drew several thousand hands. You must be Blaze, the strongest man in the world, Madara responded with disdain. Blaze had to admit Madara was a natural-born actor with years of experience. There's no change in his expression, he perfectly plays the part. But, to bring down the top-order Marines to their knees, he burned chakra, haki, and natural energy to a high level. Still, it's not to the extent he burned all his fuel. And, he still has the golden energy given by Blaze. He can put on another show with him. My target isn't the Marines. It's you. Your title, the strongest man in the world. Madara's voice thundered around. Uchiha Madara, the strongest man in the world. It suits me better. Ha ha ha, good. Come, let me see whether you have the strength to get it. Blaze laughed. In fact, he couldn't hold back his laughter. Madara's pretentious speech is truly enjoyable. Bluish-white flames of high temperatures surged from nowhere and surrounded Blaze. Under such extreme temperatures, the very Marineford showed signs of melting. The flames then converged behind Blaze and began to take shape, forming hundreds of hands similar to 100 type Guanyin Bodhisattva of Netero. But, the form is even bigger than Madara's wood style. It's like a flame god descended onto the world of mortals. This is truly getting exciting. Madara's countenance turned into excitement, feeling the power. Though he knows Blaze well, it's his first time feeling his strength so close. He can't hurt Blaze, but he can at least enjoy the clash. Ararara, should we get out of here? I doubt Marineford could withstand their clash. Kuzan sighed, feeling Blaze's haki up close. Such power, I want to know what kind of devil fruit he ate. Kizaru spoke. Whitebeard pirates and Marines watched from the distance.
The Marines were excited as soon as Blaze arrived and further riled up when he showed his powers. Madara didn't waste time, he utilized the true several thousand hands to attack Blaze. Opposite, Blaze responded by sending hundreds of punches coating them with haki. Devil fruit power with maxed haki is no joke. Bang! The clash between them was like the end of the world. Marineford Island split into two parts with Madara at one end and Blaze at another. Every punch of Blaze burst into high-temperature flames that dissolved Madara's haki and Susanoo coating. After a few seconds, his flames began to burn the wood release hands. It was a short clash, but both of them exerted their full strength, without holding back.
Chapter 247, End of the War.
With haki-enhanced attacks, Blaze's flaming fist stormed Madara's Susanoo-enhanced true several thousand hands. The blue Susanoo armor was shattered in various parts, with some leftover fragments that covered the head and a few hands. Blaze could sense Madara's chakra, natural energy, and haki nearly drained to the limit, after repeated replenishing. Sensing this, he suddenly stopped the attack. Madara dissipated the Susanoo and true several thousand hands before landing on the ground. The battle was short, but it gave Madara the excitement that he hadn't experienced before. In his estimate, Blaze's strength should be at the 6th path level. Only by being the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, he can have the power and strength to fight Blaze as an equal. Even after that, he wasn't sure of winning him.
Moby Dick. Whitebeard and his crew were stunned by the clash between Blaze and Madara.
Their clash was sky-shattering. If it had happened on land it would have reduced everything to nothingness. I know Blaze is strong, but I didn't expect him to be this powerful, Ace muttered aloud. Such power was simply godlike. Hearing this, Marco and Whitebeard were startled.
Whitebeard asked, Ace, you know Blaze?
Yes. Luffy, Sabo, and I have known him since our childhood.
Ace replied.
He even taught us fighting techniques, it's been so long, Luffy added with a look of reminiscing.
Hearing this, Whitebeard laughed. Gorarara, it's no wonder he wants to help Ace. Did I think too much?
He thought the brat had ulterior motives for agreeing to help Ace.
Marine battleship. Garp, Sengoku, Tsuru, and the three admirals stood on the battleship ship. They retreated after Blaze and Madara started to fight. Looking at the destroyed Marineford with nearly nothing left, Sengoku clenched his fist. As the fleet admiral of the Marines, he shamed the Marines by letting the criminals destroy the headquarters. Since the whole world watched the battle, he couldn't imagine the consequences of this war. The Marines achieved nothing but lost everything. You couldn't have done anything, Sengoku.
We are old, it's time we let the younger generation take the stage.
Garp spoke, seeing through Sengoku.
The latter loosened his fist and accepted the cold truth. He knew Blaze was strong, but not this much.
Such devil fruit output and haki's exertion didn't even make him sweat. Is there anyone in this world who can fight such a monster?
Only the world government has the power. He thought as he knew how strong the 5 elders were.
Considering Blaze's ambition, he knew the battle between them was inevitable. I don't know what's going to happen next and how it will affect the world.
Akainu looked at the distant Blaze with a stern face, his thoughts unknown. Such power, any strike between them can injure us heavily.
It's like they were on different levels. Kizaru commented, wiping the non-existent sweat. Kuzan agreed.
Even against Yonko, he didn't feel such thoughts as he could put up a fight against them to some extent.
In different marine battleships, that accommodated the warlords. Hancock glanced at Blaze with star-filled eyes and a loving look. As expected of my man, he's so strong. Mihawk's hawk-like eyes stared at Blaze with the intent to battle.
If Blaze had been a sword practitioner, he would have already gone forward and fought him regardless of the consequences. Fufufu, as expected of the world's strongest man, he's ridiculously strong. Doflamingo laughed, but his eyes behind the glasses narrowed with a dangerous glint remembering their old battle. At that time, the red hair pirates who came to stop the war watched the clash between Madara and Blaze from some distance.
Do you still want to stop the war? Beckman asked Shanks.
Shanks rolled his eyes. I think neither of them will give me a face, and if we go there we will attract everyone's attention. Furthermore, I couldn't perceive Blackbeard's aura, while Whitebeard and Ace were safe. There's no need for us to intervene, let's get out of here before Blaze notices us. Yes, Chief. Hearing his command, the red hair pirates swiftly left the spot before others could notice them.
It looks like nothing went the way you envisioned. Beckman commented.
Yes. And, the biggest variable is Blaze. The world government won't allow someone like him to exist, but do they have the power to eliminate him? What happens next has nothing to do with us, but it's going to determine the future of this world. Shanks replied, his eyes looking at the distant horizon.
As expected, you are strong. But, if you think you overpowered me, you are wrong. Saying this, Madara's aura burst with strong momentum as he utilized the golden energy provided by Blaze. The sudden aura outburst scared the onlookers as they thought the fight between them was finally over. This monster still has other trump cards, I can't believe it. Is he even human?
Even after fighting the entire Marines and Blaze-san, he still has the energy to fight.
Aside from Vice Admiral Blaze, I think he's the strongest man in the world. I doubt even Whitebeard is his match. Everyone discussed as they watched.
Seeing Madara's pretense, Blaze chuckled inwardly.
He didn't plan on continuing the fight with Madara as he didn't want to expose his full strength. The same applies to Madara.
Still, he had to put on a show with Madara and display a valid excuse to end the fight.
As if in response to Madara's flare-up, Blaze smiled.
Since you think you still have the chance, I will crush that thought.
Saying this, Blaze unleashed his Max Conqueror's Haki that reached 100 points. Buzz!
In an instant, extremely intense Haki exploded in all directions, affecting the world itself. The sky darkened with dark clouds while the sea raged. Endless golden streaks of lightning fell from the sky as if they were welcoming their king. None of the people lost consciousness as Blaze didn't target anyone, as he just wanted to show off his strength. Still, it terrorized everyone to the core. Though they weren't targeted, every one of them felt suppressed by some kind of invisible force.
None of them could raise their head.
They fall into some state of sluggishness as their brain refuses to act or react. They stood still as if they were frozen. Only strong people with strength above the level of admirals could resist the suppression, that too because they weren't targeted.
This Conqueror's Haki.
Garp and other strong people quickly recovered from Haki's impact. Even with their strength, this kind of Haki is like that of God with no chance to resist.
Chapter 248. Fleet Admiral Blaze 1.
Red Force, Red Hair Pirates ship.
This Haki. Shanks looked at the distant golden lightning bolts showering from the sky. It's so strong. Even from the distance, I could feel the suppression. Beckman commented, squinting his eyes. Ah, Blaze is stronger than I thought.
This Conqueror's Haki is stronger than Captain Rogers.
I would love to fight him, but now's not the time. Shanks laughed. Blaze's overbearing Haki shot everyone.
After a few seconds, his Conqueror's Haki faded away while the spectators had a look of awe and fear.
Madara, let's stop it here.
The war today is over, we suffered enough casualties. Blaze spoke, as his eyes looked around. As his gaze passed explored, everyone lowered their heads.
Though some of them, who were fanatical followers of the world government, have opinions they didn't dare to voice it out.
They had a hunch that if they dared to speak their mind, that man would kill them without any hesitation.
I will re-challenge you. But next time, I will defeat you. Good. Madara, why don't you join the Marines?
In that way, you can challenge me anytime you want.
Marines need a man of your caliber.
Blaze presented an offer as if he ended the fight just to rope him into the Marines.
Why's Blazy-san inviting that monster to Marines? No, it's a good idea. He's a wanted man for sure, but he isn't a pirate.
We can even take down the Yonko if he joins the Marines.
The Marine officers discussed among themselves. No need. I am used to being a free man.
Madara spoke and disappeared from the spot utilizing the body flicker technique.
As soon as Madara left, the Whitebeard pirates also swiftly retreated.
Only Marines and warlords of the sea remained on the scene. At that moment, Sengoku came forward and spoke via a den mushi that resounded his voice across the Marine battleships. I am going to resign from my position as Fleet Admiral of the Marines as of now. Before Sengoku could finish his speech, Blaze continued. After Sengoku-san, I will take over his position. If anyone has opinions, you can say that now. And, if any of you don't like to be under my command, you can quit the Marines. After tomorrow, I shouldn't hear any case of disobedience. Saying this, Blaze looked at the three admirals with narrowed eyes.
Kizaru and Kuzan shrugged their shoulders as if they had no opinion.
Meanwhile, Sakazuki clenched his fist which fumed in magma.
Sakazuki, you know in this world strength is supreme. If you want to be the fleet admiral, you can do so by defeating me. After hearing this, blood dripped from Sakazuki's clenched fist. After a brief moment of silence, he turned around and left by flicking his sleeve. His marine coat flowed in the air and began to burn. As Sakazuki disappeared from everyone's sight, his marine coat burned to ashes and swept by the wind. His answer can't be more clear. This left everyone to discuss. It's a big blow to the Marines as Akainu's considered the strongest among the admirals.
Some of the Marines who follow absolute justice like Akainu and followers of the world government, gathered their courage and walked away in the direction of Akainu. Sengoku, who saw the scene, shook his head. He expected some people wouldn't accept Blaze taking his position, but he didn't expect them to leave directly.
For now, let's treat the wounded.
We will shift our basic operations to the G1 branch. Without bothering about the leaving people, Blaze ordered the others.
Room of Authority, Pangaea Castle.
The Fiver Elders watched the war from start to end, broadcasted by the Den Mushi.
It went in an unexpected direction.
It took them by surprise. They expected some kind of interruption or even possible failure of Marine, but not this. The sudden arrival of Madara collapsed their plan.
And, before they could react, Blaze took everything by storm. Troublesome. Saint Marcus Mars spoke.
Considering his personality and hockey, it will be a matter of time before he shifts his target to us. His goal is always the world government.
Saint J. Garcia Saturn uttered.
We should have killed him when we had the chance, but we missed it.
Now, he has grown into someone we can't kill by force. Saint Shepherd Jupiter expressed his thoughts.
Though he took the Marines under his control, he's nothing but a child with a gun in his hand. Without our support and funds, the Marines won't last a month.
Saint Topman Warcury narrowed his eyes.
Squeak! At that moment, the door of the room opened and a beautiful figure came inside.
Elders, you are requested by Imo-sama to the throne room?
The five of them looked at each other before hurrying towards the throne room.
The hidden room where the empty throne is.
Imo sat atop the empty throne, an extremely tall, ornamented red and gold throne that bears the symbol of the world government, as if the throne is made for Imo himself.
Imo-sama, the five elder planets knelt on one knee, ready to receive the order. What's happening?
Imo asked, his voice and tone sharp. He heard about Blaze but didn't take him to heart as only persons with the surname D requires his attention.
It's our negligence, Imo-sama. We will deal with him. The five elders accepted their mistake. No.
I saw him fighting, he's strong. It's time we test the mother flame being developed by Vegapunk.
Imu narrowed his eyes. Imo-sama, there's no need for your interference in such a small matter.
We will take care of him ourselves. The mother flame is still in the development stage, it takes time to develop it.
Saint J. Garcia Saturn spoke. Tell Vegapunk to develop it fast. Yes. Chapter 249, Fleet Admiral Blaze 2. Next day.
Just as the world government thought Blaze would struggle to bring the entire Marines under his control, he amazed everyone with unforeseen actions. The people Blaze cultivated and enlisted in the Marines swiftly took control of the Marine bases scattered around the Four Seas and first half of Grand Line. The remaining 1,000 men joined the Marines and entered the New World.
With him as Fleet Admiral, they stabilized their positions and made sure Marines operated as before. Of course, there are many world government followers or agents in the Marines.
They may trouble him later, but he wasn't too worried about that.
G1 Branch.
A fleet of Marine ships docked around the base with a lot of Marines running here, and they're carrying heavy things.
After the end of the war, the headquarters was shifted here. In a huge office, a meeting was held that was attended by all the important people. Admirals, vice admirals, intelligent officers, retired people like Garp, Sengoku, and some rear admirals. Blaze attended the meeting as the Fleet Admiral of the Marines. Blaze-san, there are some uproars in the New World. It's because of the news circulated by Morgans.
Saying this, Brand New slapped the newspaper on the table.
Marines lost the war. Ace was rescued, Whitebirds unscathed.
A single man destroyed the entire Marines. The secret strength of Scarlet Demon, Madara.
Will he be crowned as the fifth emperor?
Marine hero Garp and Sengoku resigned from their positions. The new Fleet Admiral of the Marines, the strongest man in the world, Blaze. Marines lost one of their pillars.
Admiral Akainu aka Sakazuki left the Marines with some of his subordinates rather than stay under Blaze's command. His current whereabouts are unknown. Flipping the newspaper, Blaze read the headlines and some key points of the report. After a minute, he tossed it aside. Don't worry about it. There will be a new admiral taking Sakazuki's place soon. As for other things, there's no need to worry about it. Let's begin the meeting. He already sent Regis and Kuina to search for the traces of Fujitora.
With him providing the latter's description, it won't be long before they find and recruit him into the Marines.
Blaze spoke, let me make something clear first.
After today, we won't be under the command of the world government.
We are just Marines.
The reason why I worked hard to get to this position is for this reason. As Marines, you definitely would have seen what the world government or celestial dragons have been doing over the years. As the leader of the world, what they do is justice. It doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong.
Protecting the weak from the strong, it's my justice. And, it's our duty. What's yours? Find it, fight for it, and execute it with your heart. In my command, no one can stop it. You are free to follow your heart.
His words aroused some bitter memories in every Marine officer. As high-ranking Marines, they have seen cruel things done by the world government. But, they can only turn a blind eye to it as instructed by the top.
To be frank, world government and I have some personal enmity.
But, I won't use Marines' power to accomplish my personal vendetta.
Even if I fight the world government, I won't ask a single Marine to stand behind me.
I alone strong enough to overwhelm them. His domineering words backed by his strength completely conquered the Marines.
After today, they will follow his orders without any objection. We aren't going to do anything big. Do your duty as you always did. Other things, I will take care of it. For now, let's take it easy and let the wounded get proper treatment.
Sengoku whispered to Garp, who was next to him. He's doing well. His words completely aroused the Marine spirit.
He has the aura of a leader. Garp laughed. Wahahaha, I told you, it's time we let the young ones take the stage. Blaze is strong. Under his command, I see a future that we couldn't create. At that moment, Tsuru commented. World government won't sit by and watch. Don't forget they are the sovereign of the world. Without their support, Marines can't hold for long without money and supplies. Let's see how he handles it. Whitebeard Pirates.
Whitebeard pirates just finished their last rites to hundreds of dead brothers who lost their lives during the war. Many were seen with bandaged looks, while some even lost their arms or legs. Looking at them, Ace suddenly dropped to his knees.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Because of me, we lost many of our brothers while many of you are injured. Tears trickled down his cheeks and his face was full of guilt, unable to face his father or brothers.
What are you saying, Ace?
I know you would have done the same thing if we were caught.
Yeah. Don't be so guilty, it didn't suit you. Get up, Ace. Whitebeard gestured and laughed. Gurarara, I consider everyone on this ship as my sons. I would have done the same thing for anyone else. Family is my belief. If someone touches it, I will fight them with everything I got. Even if I die in the process, I won't regret it. Because it's my belief. I can't betray it.
After Whitebeard's words, the atmosphere calmed down a little. Still, the loss of their brothers made them grieve silently.
Ace, old man Whitebeard, it's time for me to go. My crew is waiting for me. After the war, I saw how weak I was.
So I'm going to take a short break before continuing my adventure.
Then, I will become the king of the pirates. Ace, the next time we meet, we will be enemies.
Luffy showed his teeth before jumping onto the Thousand Sunny that came to pick him up.
You idiot. Take care. Ace waved his hand and bid farewell to Luffy. Your brother is good, Ace. He has the spirit. But, it's time you take it seriously too. Whitebeard spoke. My time is limited. If you don't want Whitebeard pirates to disband, it's in your hands. Yes, Oyaji. Ace clenched his fist.
A royal purple streak of energy flashed in his eyes, the sign of Conqueror's Haki.
Chapter 250, The World Panics.
Getting to the temporary fleet admiral's office, Blaze settled down on his seat and opened the system panel to check his rewards.
He didn't have time to check them yesterday. Achievement complete, become a fleet admiral of the Marines. Reward, plus 5.0 free attributes plus 1 lucky draw. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 100, Half-God. Devil Fruit, 79.9. Haki, 100. Free attribute point, 11.116.1. Looking at the 16.
1 foot free attribute point, he didn't hesitate to use them to improve his Devil Fruit attribute.
Devil Fruit, 79.996.0.
As soon as his attributes improved, he felt overwhelming power and some changes in his body. Clenching his fist, he felt the power coursing through his body. He has a feeling, with a thought he could incinerate everything within a kilometer radius.
He didn't dare to test his power in Marine headquarters.
He just needs another 4.0 points to max his Devil Fruit attribute. Still, with his current strength, he's sure to dethrone the world government from the seat of power.
It's time to set the plan in motion. Blaze thought and shifted his focus to Lucky Draw.
Last time, he got the character summoning card and summoned Madara.
Let's see what I get this time.
System, start the Lucky Draw, Blaze thought in his mind. The system panel blanked for a second, before displaying a lucky roulette wheel with 8 rewards, like last time with some changes. The pointer began to spin. 1. Character summoning card, 2. World traveling card. 3. Rinnegan, 4. Jujutsu, Limitless, Infinity. 5. Zanpakuto, ability can be customized. 6. Pepsi 300 ml, pack of 6. 7. Limit breaking physique, same as Saitama. 8. No reward. Blaze glimpsed at the rewards and noticed some changes, but most of them are in a good way. After a few seconds, the pointer slowed down, passing the rewards one by one at a slow pace. Finally, the pointer stopped at Jujutsu, Limitless, Infinity. Infinity is essentially the power to stop, and anything that approaches infinity slows down and never reaches the user. Though he got the Limitless Infinity skill, Blaze wasn't too excited because it may provide limited help to him as his strength got past that level. His Devil Fruit ability itself can mimic the skill to a certain extent. A few days after the Summit War. For a long time, the world was controlled by a careful balance of 3 great forces, the Yonko, the Shichibukai, and the Marines. Such a balance kept the world from chaos. But now, one of the Marines' greatest fighting forces, Admiral Akaino, left the Marines.
Meanwhile, Sengoku and Marine Hero also resigned from the post. Uchiha Madara, the Scarlet Demon, a grave imbalance emerged out of nowhere. With his overbearing strength, he single-handedly destroyed the top forces of the Marines. After reading the news delivered by Newsku, the entire world was in turmoil for a few days. Since the Marines failed to execute Ace, it means they lost the war. And their strength is at their weakest. As if sharks smelling the blood, the news triggered countless pirates to enter the Grand Line and challenge the authority of Marines. Regarding the sudden shift of the world, Blaze wasn't too worried. The Marines can handle it without any worries. But the kingdoms and small island rulers around the world were trembling after receiving the latest announcements sent to them by the Marines. After getting the message, many of them thought Blaze was mad and foolish. From now on, every island and kingdom has to pay some payment to Marines as a protection fee. By doing so, they can cease supplying any further heavenly tributes to the world government. The Marines will protect them from all threats, including the world government. Even if some poor countries couldn't pay the fees, they could still get the protection. The only condition is they need to stop paying the heavenly tributes. A direct challenge to the world government. And there was only one outcome. The world government would end the Marines' insolence with their strength or get overthrown. Either way, the result is the world plunging into chaos. He's a madman. But he's strong. If he somehow successfully implements this change, our country can flourish for the years to come. A king of a certain poor kingdom thought in his heart. Since the world government hasn't got rid of him yet, it means he's strong enough. Is it wise to side with the Marines and oppose the world government? Another one thought. Caught between the choices, the rulers of every island thought carefully. But people who know the power of the world government scorned Blaze's order. Soon, the world government and world nobles above the red line got the news. It made them furious. Marines are nothing but a watchdog raised to guard them. But now, it's bearing the fangs at them. Blaze's move is tantamount to directly opposing them. The 5 elders immediately convened a meeting. It was attended by Commander-in-Chief Kon, God's Knights, and key CP0 personnel. As we thought, his target is the world government. The elder J. Garcia Saturn spoke. We should have killed him the time he showed again. But he came back stronger than before, and we missed the chance because of slight hesitation. Saint Marcus Mars expressed his thoughts. Facing him head-on is equivalent to fighting 2 or 3 Whitebeard. Even now, we don't know the extent of his strength. The samurai-wielding saint spoke. The last time they faced Blaze, he was the one who got beaten to a pulp. He doesn't want to fight Blaze again, if possible. What do you think, Garling? Saint Topman Warcury asked. It's simple. Eliminate him. No matter how strong he is, it's pointless. He's nothing but an ant trying to shake the elephant. Saint Figurland Garling said in an expressionless tone. Don't underestimate him, Saint Garling. If you meet him, you will know. Kong said, knowing Blaze to some extent. There shouldn't be any mistake this time. Gather a powerful force and make sure he won't survive. Saint J. Garcia Saturn said, clenching his walking crane. That wraps up this part of What If Transmigrated into one piece and became a Marine. Thanks so much for listening. As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well. See you in the next one.